Welcome to Ancient Wisdom Unlocked. I'm your companion on this journey to discover life's most profound lessons. Have you ever poured your entire heart into someone, only to receive a chilling silence in return, a hollow void where a response should be? Or perhaps you've given everything you had to help someone, only to watch them vanish precisely when you needed them most, like a mirage dissipating into thin air? If these questions resonate with you, if you feel a familiar ache somewhere deep in your heart, rest assured you are not alone. Millions of people across the globe, through countless generations, have experienced and continue to experience similar emotional roller coasters. It's an unavoidable part of the human journey, a fundamental aspect of growth and understanding. In the tapestry of life, we often stumble upon painful lessons, scars that etch themselves not just onto our skin, but deep into our souls. Yet it is precisely from these scars, from these seemingly failed experiences, that we truly grow, become stronger, and emerge wiser. Today, Ancient Wisdom Unlocked will walk alongside you as we explore 8 harsh yet incredibly liberating truths about human nature. These truths, though sometimes disheartening, hold the key to saving your soul from repeating the same mistakes ever again. Join me on this expedition to unveil the secrets of ancient wisdom so you can gain a clearer understanding of yourself, of those around you, and so you can walk a more stable, confident path. These aren't just pieces of advice. These are whispers from history, from the collective human experience distilled over thousands of years. Listen closely, because what you are about to hear could change the way you perceive the world and your relationships forever. 1. Never give away your heart or money too quickly. The gentle flow of sincerity. Imagine love not as a raging inferno, consuming everything in a fleeting moment, but as a calm, steady river. This river, though not boisterous, runs incredibly deep, patiently depositing fertile silt, nurturing life along its banks. If the river flows too fast, too wildly, it will sweep away and drown everything in its path, leaving only desolation in its wake. In love and in all social relationships, when you give away your heart or money too quickly, too much, and without balance, you inadvertently create a void, an imbalance. The more you give without receiving reciprocal respect, understanding, or an equivalent response, the faster others tend to take your value for granted. And then they will quickly leave you. They will perceive what you offer as an entitlement rather than a gift. Think of it like tending a garden. You wouldn't pour all your water on a plant at once just because you want it to grow fast. You need to water it steadily, adequately, observing how it responds, allowing it time to absorb and develop strong roots. True love isn't a tumultuous cascade of emotions, but a serene, deep current building gradually over time. It requires patience, observation, and understanding. For instance, you meet someone new and feel an immediate, intense connection. You start dedicating all your time, energy, and even your finances to this person. You buy expensive gifts, always initiate messages and calls, and arrange all the dates. You want to demonstrate your love as intensely as possible. But then you notice that the other person doesn't seem to appreciate your efforts. They begin to become indifferent, take your presence for granted, and eventually, they might leave. Why? Because you overwatered from the start. You gave too much without allowing the relationship time to develop naturally, for the other person to have the opportunity to value what you bring. Similarly, in professional or platonic relationships, you consistently help a friend, lend them money without a second thought, and support them in every project. But when you face difficulties, you find them nowhere to be found. This is the consequence of unbalanced giving. What's the core message here? Give wisely with a measure. Allow the other person the chance to reciprocate, to show appreciation. Build relationships on a foundation of mutual respect, balanced giving and receiving. Love and generosity are not infinite, and they need to be placed appropriately at the right time. Remember, your value is appreciated when it's not taken for granted. 2. Don't expect people to like you. Just because you're kind, power comes from value. This is a truth that can sting, but it's incredibly crucial for your acceptance. We are often taught to be kind, to help others, and then we will be liked. While partly true, it doesn't paint the full picture. The truth is, people respect value, not weakness. Kindness, when not coupled with strength, confidence, and self-respect, can sometimes be currency for the ungrateful. It can be exploited, disregarded, and even despised. Imagine someone who constantly tries to please everyone. They never dare to say no. Always take on extra work, always agree with every opinion, and consistently put others' needs before their own. While they might be a genuinely kind person, will they be respected? Or will they be seen as easily exploited, weak, and easily manipulated? More often than not, it's the latter. Kindness without strength is mere compliance. It doesn't generate genuine admiration or respect. On the contrary, it can create a sense of entitlement for the receiver and a feeling of being used for the giver. Look at great historical figures or successful leaders. They may have been kind, but what made them great wasn't solely their kindness. It was their wisdom, their decisiveness, their leadership ability, and their capacity for self-preservation. They brought value. So, how do you ensure your kindness isn't undervalued? Build yourself up. Instead of chasing approval from others, dedicate your energy to developing yourself. Enhance your knowledge, skills, build confidence, and become a person of inherent value. When you are confident in yourself and what you bring to the table, you'll naturally exude an attractiveness that doesn't require begging for approval. Set boundaries. Kindness doesn't mean you have to sacrifice yourself. Learn to say no when necessary, protecting your time and energy. This not only helps you avoid being exploited, but also demonstrates that you respect yourself, and others will learn to respect you in turn. Exhibit self-assurance. Hand in hand with kindness is self-assurance. When you're confident in your own worth, you won't need to try so hard to be liked. You'll attract people who genuinely appreciate you for who you are, not just those who seek to take advantage of your kindness. Stop begging for approval. Stop trying to please everyone. Start building yourself. When you bring value, respect and affection will naturally follow. 3. Every gift has its own appeal, more than just a thank you. No one gives you something for nothing. This saying might sound cynical, but it contains a profound truth about the nature of relationships. Even kindness, even a seemingly selfless gift, can be a disguised trap, an invisible obligation. Consider this. When someone gives you a gift, big or small, an unspoken feeling of debt often arises. You feel the need to reciprocate, to express gratitude, or sometimes even to fulfill an expectation from the giver. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, as it forms the basis of social exchange. However, it can also become a tool for manipulation. For example, an old friend unexpectedly gives you a very valuable gift for no particular occasion. You feel delighted, but deep down you might wonder, why this? What does she want from me? And then, sometime later, that friend asks you for a very difficult favor, or makes continuous requests, and you find it hard to refuse because of the gift they gave. That's the invisible price. The wise don't rush to say thank you. First, they will ask themselves, why me? What does this mean? Could there be a hidden agenda? They don't reject kindness, but they receive it with a degree of caution, a deeper insight than just initial excitement. They understand that in many cases, a gift is not just a gift, but an opening to a relationship, an expectation, or even a potential manipulation. This doesn't mean you have to be suspicious of all kindness in the world. Rather, it means you need to cultivate mindfulness, the ability to read situations and the motives of others. How to act wisely. Observe motives. When receiving something, try to understand the true motives of the giver. Are they giving purely out of generosity or for some ulterior purpose? Don't hastily accept everything. If you feel something is off or the gift is too grand for the relationship, consider carefully before accepting. Sometimes a polite refusal will protect you from unwanted obligations. Practice fair exchange. If you receive something, try to find a way to genuinely reciprocate, not out of obligation, but because you want to maintain balance in the relationship. Wisdom lies not just in seeing the surface of an action, but also in perceiving the underlying currents. Let your discernment guide you, not your naivety. 4. Injustice is normal. Adaptation is true strength. In life, we constantly crave fairness. We want every effort to be rewarded, every good deed to be acknowledged, and every wrong to be punished. But the harsh truth is, injustice is normal. It's an inseparable part of this life. Look at history. Even the greatest figures, those who changed the world, were not immune to injustice. Even powerful emperors like Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, one of history's greatest rulers, was betrayed by his closest associates, misunderstood, and faced incredibly difficult challenges that seemed insurmountable. He had to contend with wars, plagues, political instability, and even conspiracies within his own palace. But he didn't complain. He didn't let injustice defeat him. Instead, he penned his reflections in Meditations, a book on Stoic philosophy, where he reminded himself of the importance of accepting what cannot be changed and focusing on what can be controlled. He adapted and kept moving forward. The weak complain, blaming circumstances, fate, or others. They wallow in resentment, bitterness, and a victim mentality. This attitude not only saps their energy, but also prevents them from seeing opportunities to rise above. They get stuck in a loop of negativity. Conversely, strong minds adapt. They don't passively accept injustice, but they accept its existence as a part of reality. They understand that complaining solves nothing. Instead, they focus on how to overcome, how to learn from the experience, and how to become stronger. They never stop moving forward. Adapting doesn't mean passively accepting every bad thing that happens to you. It means you recognize that you cannot control everything external, but you can absolutely control how you react to it. How to develop this adaptability? Accept reality. The first step is to accept that life isn't always fair. This isn't pessimism, but a realistic recognition. Seek lessons. When faced with injustice, ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How will this make me stronger in what aspect? Focus on solutions. Instead of dwelling on the problem or the feeling of being wronged, redirect your energy to finding solutions. What can you do to improve the situation? Develop resilience. Like a bamboo tree that bends with the storm rather than breaking, you need to develop the ability to bounce back from shocks. This includes taking care of your mental well-being, seeking support, and maintaining faith in yourself. Don't let injustice defeat you. Turn it into a motivator to become more resilient, wiser, and ready to face any challenge life throws your way. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can absolutely control how you react. That is true strength. 5. Keep silent in a crowd. The power of secrets. Never tell your secrets to the wind, for the wind will carry the whispers into the forest and then into the fire. This is not just a beautiful metaphor, but a profound warning about the danger of oversharing. Words are like arrows. Once released, they cannot be retrieved. Once you've spoken a secret, you've lost control over it. It can be twisted, misconstrued, or used against you. Think about the consequences of revealing personal secrets. Loss of advantage. In a competitive world, Keeping your plans, ideas, or weaknesses confidential is a strategic advantage. When you reveal them, you might inadvertently hand weapons to competitors or ill-intentioned individuals. Vulnerability. Personal secrets, especially fears, private dreams, or vulnerabilities, if they fall into the wrong hands, can become tools for manipulation or to cause you harm. Judgment and misunderstanding. Even if the listener means well, they might misunderstand or judge you based on what you've shared, especially sensitive information. Why do we tend to reveal secrets? Often it's because we want to be understood, to connect, or sometimes even to impress. However, wisdom lies in knowing when and to whom you should share private matters. Keeping silent in a crowd doesn't mean you have to be reclusive or distrust everyone. It means you need to be selective. Silence is a form of power, a protective shield. It allows you to observe, listen, and gain a better understanding of those around you before you decide to open up. How to practice wise silence. Think before you speak. Before intending to say something important or private, ask yourself, is this necessary to say? Who will hear? What are the potential consequences? Choose trustworthy confidants. If you need to share, choose 1 or 2 people you truly trust, those who have proven their loyalty and discretion over time. Limit sharing personal information on social media. In the digital age, the line between public and private is increasingly blurred. Be cautious about what you share online, because once posted, it's almost impossible to erase completely. Observe and listen more. Instead of rushing to express yourself, take time to observe and listen to others. You'll learn more about them, and that will help you make smarter decisions about whether to trust them or not. Your power lies not in the number of words you utter, but in the control and choice of those words. Let silence be your ally, a strong shield protecting what is most precious within you. 6. When someone invites you to eat, let them choose the place, respecting unspoken boundaries. This might seem like a small detail, but it holds a significant lesson about etiquette and respect in social interactions. When someone invites you to eat, allowing them to choose the venue not only demonstrates courtesy, but also shows that you respect their unspoken boundaries. You cannot know what they can afford. A careless command, a choice of an overly expensive place on your part, could inadvertently put the inviter in an awkward position, under financial pressure, or even feeling insulted because you didn't consider their capabilities. This not only causes discomfort, but can also cost you a valuable friendship or strain a relationship. Think about the consequences of not respecting this boundary, creating pressure. The inviter might feel obligated to pay an amount beyond their means to save face, leading to discomfort and even resentment. Misunderstanding. You might be seen as insensitive, arrogant, or uncaring about others' circumstances, damaging relationships. Such a negative experience could make the other person hesitant to invite you again or even sever the relationship. Where does subtlety lie? It lies in the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and to show empathy through the smallest actions. When you let the inviter choose the place, you are implicitly saying, I trust you, I respect your choice, and I don't want to burden you. This applies to many other aspects of life. When someone offers help, instead of immediately listing all your problems, let them suggest how they might assist. When discussing plans, instead of imposing your will, be open to listening and considering others' options. How to become more subtle in relationships. Observe and listen. Pay attention to body language, tone of voice, and subtle cues from others. Sometimes what's left unsaid is most important. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of making demands, ask open-ended questions so others can freely make their choices. For example, where would be convenient for you to eat? Or do you have any ideas for our meeting? Suggest gently. If you have a favorite spot, you can gently suggest it, instead of making a demand. If you don't have a place in mind, I know a great restaurant. But always leave the final decision to the inviter. Express genuine gratitude. Regardless of the venue, show sincere thanks for the inviter's kindness. A careless command can cost you a friendship. Conversely, a subtle and respectful action can strengthen relationships, building trust and mutual appreciation. 7. Never put your whole soul into one person. Love wisely. This is one of the hardest lessons to accept, especially when we are deeply in love. We want to give our all, to merge completely with the person we adore. But the truth is, giving someone your entire love is giving them the power to destroy you. When you place your entire life, happiness, and self-worth into a single person, you are creating a dangerous dependency. You lose your sense of self, your independence. And if that person leaves or hurts you, your entire world will crumble. You'll feel empty, meaningless, as if a most crucial part of you has been torn away. Think of your life as a garden. If you plant only one type of tree, and that tree gets sick or dies, your garden will become desolate. But if you plant many different types of plants, personal hobbies, friendships, family relationships, career aspirations, personal goals, then even if one plant has a problem, your garden will still be vibrant and full of life. True love is not dependence, but complementarity. It's not two halves making a whole, but two complete individuals building something greater together. When you love blindly, you tend to ignore warning signs, accept unhealthy behaviors, and sacrifice yourself excessively out of fear of losing that person. Ancient philosophies often speak of the importance of self-mastery and not placing your happiness in the hands of others. Buddha taught about the impermanence of all things and the importance of releasing attachment. Stoic philosophers like Seneca emphasized that we should not let external things control our emotions. How to love wisely, not blindly. Distribute your energy. Instead of focusing all your energy on one person, spread it across other aspects of your life. Nurture friendships, family relationships. Develop your career, pursue personal passions, and dedicate time to yourself. Maintain your identity. Don't lose yourself in a relationship. Maintain your own interests, opinions, and personal space. You are still an independent individual with your own values. Build inner confidence. Your happiness must come from within, not from the approval or love of others. When you are confident in your own worth, you will no longer depend on others to feel complete. Be realistic about expectations. No one is perfect. Don't place the burden of perfection on your partner's shoulders. Accept their flaws and your own. Diversify your sources of inspiration. Happiness can come from many different sources, from learning a new skill, from an early morning run, from a deep conversation with a friend, from helping others. Love wisely, not blindly. Love is a wonderful thing, but it will be more beautiful and enduring when built on a foundation of independence, mutual respect, and a full, rich life for both individuals. 8. Sweet words are easily deceiving. Let the mask fall off on its own. Sweet words taste good until they slowly kill you like candy. This is a powerful warning about the dangers of flowery language, insincere compliments, and superficial gestures. In our world, many people use words as a tool for manipulation to achieve their own ends. Those who smile too brightly, speak in charming words, and are always flattering often hide claws beneath. They might say what you want to hear, make you feel special, but their true motives are far different. Think about the consequences of being deceived by sweet words. Lowered guard. Sweet words can lull you into a false sense of security, causing you to drop your guard and lose the ability to spot danger signs. Misplaced trust. You might place your trust in undeserving individuals, leading to disappointment, hurt, and even exploitation. Missed opportunities. When you get caught up in empty words, you might miss genuine relationships, real opportunities, or important warnings from trustworthy people. How to identify toxic sweet talk. Not every word is true. Not everyone speaks frankly. Some people might say something to please you or to gain some benefit. Observe actions, not just words. This is the golden rule. Words are easy, but actions are the true measure of a person. Someone might say they love you but consistently hurt you. Someone might say they will help you but never follow through on their promise. Pay attention to the consistency between words and actions. Don't believe in perfection. No one is perfect. If someone seems too perfect, says things that are too good to be true, they might be hiding something. Listen to your intuition. Sometimes your gut feeling will tell you something is off, even when everything on the surface seems perfect. Don't ignore that feeling. You don't need to tear off their mask. You don't need to confront them or try to expose them. Let the mask fall off on its own. Time and actual deeds will reveal everyone's true nature. The truth often exposes itself. What's the best way to protect yourself? Maintain awareness. Always keep a cool head, a warm heart, and sharp eyes. Believe in actions over words. Judge people based on what they do, not what they say. Learn to recognize the signs. Educate yourself about human psychology, about forms of manipulation, so you can identify ill-intentioned individuals early on. Wisdom lies not in trusting everyone, but in knowing who is trustworthy. Let time and action be your greatest teachers. Conclusion. Journeying with Ancient Wisdom Unlocked. My dear friend, this journey of discovering harsh truths might have left you feeling a little heavy-hearted. But remember, our purpose is not to make you pessimistic or distrustful of everything around you. The purpose of Ancient Wisdom Unlocked is to equip you with a map, a compass to navigate this complex world. These truths won't change the external world. They won't turn bad people into good ones or make life perfectly fair, but they can change you if you allow them to. They can arm you with clarity, courage, and resilience to face any challenge. And if you ignore them, they might return in the form of betrayal, suffering, and regret lessons you'll have to learn again and again. Human nature may not evolve in the way we wish, but your perception can. You have the power to change how you see the world, how you interact with it, and how you protect yourself. True growth lies in accepting what cannot be changed and finding the strength to change what can. If this message resonated with you, if you feel like this video spoke to something deep within you, then I know you are still awake. I know you are a soul yearning for truth, yearning for wisdom to live a more meaningful life. Join Ancient Wisdom Unlocked on this journey to seek truth. We don't just share knowledge. We walk alongside you, step by step, on the path of uncovering ancient wisdom. This is an endless adventure where every lesson opens a new door to understanding. We are here to help you decipher the mysteries of life, learn from the past, and build a stronger future for yourself. Now I want to hear from you. Out of the 8 truths we've just explored, which truth hit you the hardest, but also liberated you the most? Which truth unveiled a part of reality you may have tried to ignore? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your insights not only help you reflect more deeply, but also inspire others who are on a similar journey.